Welcome to Spotlight New England. I'm one of your hosts, Audrey McClelland.
And I'm Ashley Erling.
We did not, this is the thing about Ashley and I. We're together every day, and so we know each other's style.
Yes.
But we gravitate towards, I will say, on some days, very similar things. Like, we didn't play
color-wise.
Yeah.
Today. No, yes. I like that. That must be new. I haven't seen that.
This is Amazon.
It's new, though,
it's
right?
New. I just see it. Yeah, I just got this 3 days ago.
Did you?
I did.
I
love that
this
one.
is old from Lily Pulitzer. But I spilled coffee all over myself today, so all I can smell is coffee. And it's like now making me nauseous.
Now it is. Yeah, we're gonna take it off, and we have to clean.
It's so cute, but I just need to get this off
so
because
cute.
all I can smell is
coffee. I hate that you spilled coffee.
I know you can't really see it though because of the pattern, which is good.
No, it's a great thing about a pattern.
All over.
Yes, it's actually very pretty. I like that.
But yeah, we don't plan our outfits or anything ahead. That's too much. Maybe someday we could be that level. I know that Jenna and Hoda would do that.
Right.
When they
hire a stylist.
They hire a stylist. Their clothes are there at their studio for them.
How great would that be? Like, take a moment to think about that.
You're the queen of manifesting. Let's get on this.
We're gonna manifest
Let's get on this.
Nice little stylist in the corner telling us what we should wear.
Yeah.
Love it.
So that's something to look forward to. But something that we've already loved doing, we love getting out and having little adventures around the state. And we're trying to do more and more of that on this show as much as we can. But we're shooting a lot of it ourselves.
Yeah.
So it definitely, takes a little effort and time. But last week we had the chance to go to one of our favorite places. This is Sweetberry Farm. But specifically they have a pop-up summer shed there for our friends at Farm Aesthetics. So we went to go check it out. Take a look.
I'm Brenda. You're at Farm Aesthetics at Sweetberry Farm, and this is our seasonal shed. Why don't you come in and I'll show you around.
All right, Brenda, I am so excited to be here. I've heard so much about not only your products, but the shed. Tell me this first. What made you want to start Farm Aesthetics?
Well, I think I was an accidental businesswoman. I have
the best kind.
I've made skincare and herbal preparations all my life. I grew up on a farm in Texas, so I learned that kitchen craft early on.
Right.
But one summer, 26 years ago, I decided to put them in a little jar, sell them at my friend's farm stand, and call it Farm Aesthetics. And then one thing led to the other, and 26 years later, here we are.
That's unbelievable, and I love stories like that. You can just tell your passion behind it. But tell me this, we're in the shed right now. It is the best space. It really is so inviting. It just smells unbelievable, and you feel calm and peace the second you walk in. So bring me through what people can expect when they walk through those doors.
Well, we call it an herbal oasis, an herbal skincare oasis, because it really is. Everything in here is alive. These are lemon balms and mints, and that's God knows what all of that is. But it's really just being immersed in the sense of nature, and we're surrounded by this gorgeous farm with flowers and fruits and vegetables and some chickens.
Too.
And I really feel like this is the most immersive place to experience farm aesthetics, because nature provides those beautiful ingredients that you can make gorgeous, elegant skincare from, and people really resonate with that kind of immersive experience, I think.
I love it, and obviously Ashley and I are huge fans, so we really want to make sure everybody out there come to the shed, check it out. The products are unbelievable. It's just a great place, like you said. It's a perfect oasis.
It is an oasis,
and just breathe it all in and make some great purchases. This was amazing.
Thank you. I'm so glad you guys came.
She's lovely.
She is lovely.
Truly.
And she's been doing this for a really long time, and I love that she still has such a strong passion for it, because a lot of times, you're into something and you try to make it work and you give it a go and you're like, well, I did that.
Give it a shot.
That was enough. And she's been doing this for 2 decades.
Yeah.
And has only grown and gotten better. And I have to say, Farm Aesthetics is my current obsession.
You do love it.
I really, really love it. And I left there with every skin product that basically said is supposed to make you look younger.
We're getting wedding ready.
Yes, and everything in my life right now is
wedding.
Around the one day of
it's the royal wedding.
Yeah, the royal wedding. The royal wedding, aka my wedding. But I was like, if this says will help your skin look, younger, I was like, I'm taking that. I'm taking that.
Yes.
And the thing that I also love about their products, besides them being natural, they're safe, they're non-toxic, but they're so luxurious.
Yeah, they are.
Smell
It really is.
wonderful.
They are.
They perform well. They feel like an indulgence, but at the same time, they're good for you. Like that's a pretty, like, those are two really high marks to hit for
They
me.
really are. And then, I will say real quickly, she was like ahead of her time. Right now, like
100%.
obviously clean beauty, we see like these trends come and a lot of people like try to jump on it. But Brenda's been doing this, like you said, for over 2 decades. So it really is. She was awesome to meet. And you introduced me to this product line. And I'm so glad that you did.
Obsessed. And they're at Sweet Berry Farm. So like win-win, because you can also.
We did get sandwiches after.
Got sandwiches. You can pick your fruit, get some cheese.
Perfect.
It's fantastic. Okay. We have a lot of fun coming up. Stick around if you're into anything reality TV, pop culture, because we have a local expert on next. Stick around. Welcome back to Spotlight New England, and we are welcoming back one of our favorite guests. She knows everything pop culture nationally, but now we have a local thing to talk about as well. And of course, I'm talking about Bekah Berger from 92 Pro FM, who is our reality queen, just like pop culture queen, everything. And we're so excited to have you back.
Thank you so much for having me back. I had so much fun last time. I'm sad that I'm not coordinating. I didn't get the blue, that floral pattern menu. Not menu, but the
no, but you know what you did get? You got the tan memo, which you and Audrey can discuss ad nauseum. I'm listening to the two of you talk about your tans and the routine, and I'm so out of the loop on this one. I'm usually right there with you guys, and I mean, you guys are just.
So Bekah, she has to tan before her wedding, right? So we have to be with her on her like little like we should do a whole segment, a little excursion.
I'm scared.
I'm sure some of the folks watching are probably like, well, clearly Bekah's tan is not working. I'm not now. I am a spray tan expert. I don't do the spray tan. I got a girl. She's fantastic. So Ashley, let me know when you need to go on your spray tan journey.
I will, but I have a lot of questions for you guys because it just seems like a lot. It seems like a lot. I don't know.
I love it.
I would maybe rather just not deal with the runoff.
You know what though? The pictures that have you ever been spray tanning?
No.
See, Bekah, we gotta take her.
I only have ever done like, you know how they'll have like lotions you do at home? That's all I've ever done.
Yeah, we gotta take her.
I'm very surprised that
I know. It's a weird thing about me because I'm into all like, aesthetic things. But
because at this point you've done it all. So
pretty much, but not
I'm very thrown that you have not done a spray tan. Anyway, I'm from Cranston. We were born.
Yeah, that's it. You created this spray tan. I love it. No, I'm just teasing you guys, but you always do. Both of you always know about your tans, which is great. But Bekah, we're so excited. You're our first repeat guest, by the way, which I'm excited about.
This feels like the SNL thing where when you have the 5 Timers Club, they have like a row.
We need to do
We're going to have to come up with some sort of.
What were you saying? We want to have Bekah on as a regular. Ashley did say that immediately after because you were so good.
Well, because the thing is this, Bekah, obviously it's just so fun for us to talk to you, but like you really do know everything that's going on. Like, I feel like I know everything that's going on, and then I see you, and I'm like, I actually don't. You know everything that's going on. We all defer to you, and so much so that you actually now have a new podcast, right?
Well, first of all, thank you for saying all of that. I promise you, for those who don't know, I do have children and I do take care of those children. It's really, I do my best posting when mommy has a bathroom break.
Yeah, well, I was going to say that's why you're not here with us in the studio right now, too, because in addition to your full-time job, you are a mom.
I was going to say, she has a lot to on her plate.
Thank you for making time.
Thank you to my partner, Tony, for helping me.
Thank you, Tony.
Love you, Tony.
So yes, I have a podcast. It's now called Real Talk Rhody. We just launched last week, and I've always toyed with the idea of a podcast. I think I said it last time I was on with you both on Spotlight New England. I said that radio is your original podcast, and it seems like everybody now has a podcast. So why not the person who already has a morning show? Yeah. Why not give her a podcast as well? My original idea for this podcast, it's funny because I just mentioned being a mom. I really wanted to try to put both mom and pop culture in it a little bit, but things change, and then all of a sudden we get this announcement about Real Housewives of Rhode Island. So as they say on Friends, I wanted to pivot a little bit. And instead of just focusing on Bravo and the Real Housewives, which is essentially a big focus of the podcast. As you both know, Rhode Island is having such a glow up, a come up, such a moment right now that it just makes sense to have a podcast, and that is Real Talk Rhody. My first guest was a Real Housewife, or she is currently a Real Housewife on pause, Danielle Cabral, and she has local ties. Her husband Nathan is from Fall River. So
Obviously.
Yes.
the local tie to that. That was my first guest. And then my second guest with the episode launching in just a few days is Maddie Majacomo. He's from
Oh, I love
Maddie.
Maddie. I actually interviewed
Love
him. I
Maddie.
interviewed him during the pandemic because everyone was doing like Peloton and stuff like that. And anyway,
He's one of my
that's
favorite
exciting.
instructors.
He's
I
awesome.
love him.
You know what I love about Maddie? Anytime he gets brought up, it's with that reaction.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, I love it. I mean, he wouldn't know who I am, to be clear, but like,
Or me, but I love him.
But that's one of the things that's great about him. He immediately makes you feel like you're like a kindred spirit, like
Yeah.
you're friends. So I love that you're gonna chat with him. And do you know him? I feel like you know him.
So the funny thing about Maddie and I, and what I love is when people find out, because we have so many very fit women like the both of you who use Peloton. And then when they find out that Maddie's from here, because I know he does talk about Rhode Island quite a bit,
Yeah,
but
he
it's
does.
amazing the people who don't know that he is originally from Smithfield. So I was this is such a classic Rhode Island story.
Yep.
I was in a wedding with his sister back when my cousin Stephanie got married in 2011 at Belmare. So that is how I know Maddie and his family. And then he and I mean, like you just said, kindred spirits. We love pop culture and we are constantly reposting each other or commenting. And what I started to notice was a lot of my followers had the same reaction that the two of you did, which was, how do you know Maddie? And it was
Yeah.
this big reaction. So I'm excited to have Maddie on. He has such an incredible take, not just on the Housewives, but just Rhode Island in general.
Yeah.
He's a New York guy, but you can take the guy out of Rhode Island. You can't take the Rhode Island out of the guy.
I saw that as soon as they
Very true.
announced the Housewives that he was all over it. He was posting and like, you know, trying to figure out like where they were going to be shooting, who would be on it, like all the rest of us. But I was like, that Rhode Island, it flares right back up.
I love
as
it.
soon as you hear anything about Rhode Island, you're like, wait, that's my Rhode Island.
Right. Get protective. You get very protective.
He's so Rhode Island that we have in our studio, our new podcast studio that we just sort of built for Real Talk Rhody and for some other projects, but he clocked that our decor was from Cardi's Furniture.
Oh my God.
I love it. That is Rhode Island
Shout out
for ya.
Cardi's.
That is amazing.
I mean, it's not a hard guess because we all go there, but I mean, that's awesome. I love that. He knows it.
That's
he knows
awesome.
It.
So Becca, let me ask you this. So obviously Housewives is something that you obviously really love. You talk about it a lot, but when did your love for Housewives really begin? Are you someone that's been watching it from the very beginning? Did you hop in at some point? Are there certain cities you love more than the others? When did
the crazy start?
Because when did this start for you?
My general manager, Holly Paris, has this term S1E1, and it sounds so weird, but that's what we refer to as season 1, episode 1. And that's when we talk about TV shows, we either say we make it past S1E1 or we don't make it past S1E1. And it sounds a little bit like a spreadable disease. Sorry about that, but that's kind of the term that we use. So for me, I am a day one 2006 Real Housewives of Orange County fan, and here's why.
Yeah, yep.
I was obsessed. Did either of you watch Desperate Housewives on ABC?
I did. I didn't see it
Yes.
through until the end because I think I feel like that was right around when I was going to college maybe. And you know how when you're in college,
Yeah,
you're
that would
kind
make
of
sense.
like in and out on things. So I feel like I didn't see it through, but 100% yes. Definitely did.
So I was obsessed with Desperate Housewives. I too, Ashley, you and I are around the same age. I was also in school when that came out, when we had DVDs. So I had to watch it on DVDs. And so, but then I was watching week to week. So then all of a sudden this show comes out, which is it was sort of at the time, like if Desperate Housewives and Laguna Beach had a baby.
Yes,
because
yes,
it
yes.
was
Yeah.
the Real Housewives of Orange County. So you get to kind of see what it was like beyond the gates.
Yeah, it's
And-
weird. It's almost like we have Kristen Cavallari to thank for all of this.
Yeah, true.
You know what? Kristen Cavallari, Mark Cherry, who created Desperate Housewives, and for those of us who grew up with mothers and aunties and grandmothers who watched their stories, soap operas, All My Children, all that. So I grew up on that as well. So I think all of that led me to being obsessed with Real Housewives, with Bravo, and asking me to choose my favorite Real Housewives is like asking me to choose my favorite child, but it's Jersey.
I know that.
It's Jersey, but it's
Jersey.
Jersey.
It's Jersey.
But it's Jersey. You know,
It is a good one. It's
I'm
Jersey.
obviously into all of this, but I had fallen off on some of the seasons the past couple of years because it did feel a little bit forced. So I'm excited for our new franchise. I'm nervous. We've talked about this, Bekah, many, many times. I won't stop talking about it, actually. But I'm ready to be all in should the opportunity present itself.
Yes.
What can you tell us as of now? What are you hearing? What are you
what is the-
seeing?
what is the
do we
update?
know? What are we speculating? Like, what's going on right now?
Well, this is a really day-to-day thing, I have to tell you, because things that I thought 3 days ago don't seem to be the case today. I mean, the main cast, who, yes, I have yet to really want to name, because again, as I point out on my podcast, this is my name, this is my brand. I don't have an anonymous account like some of our other local
Right.
accounts do, and who are doing a really great job of covering everything, by the way. But they can sort of get
They can say something that's not true
Yes.
or unconfirmed.
And get away with it.
and get
it's
away with
okay.
it.
They can get
you
away
know,
with
this is
it.
at the end of the day, this is my job, so I'm very protective of that.
Yeah.
The main cast seems to be the cast that's been floating around.
Yep.
Give or take one or two who are no longer involved. And now, you know what is, I want to text this person so bad, because now there's a rumor going around that there is a cast member who we did fall in love with on a completely other network, on a completely other reality show, who have made their roots in Rhode Island because they may or may not be married to somebody from here. And I want to text them and be like, is this true? Because if so, it's blowing my mind right now, because I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you feeling that that's a possibility? Because I think I know who you're talking about, and I'd be surprised.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that we need to be prepared for, and that is expect the unexpected.
Yes.
And when it comes to filming, so again, we're hearing a million different things. People are posting a million different things. I keep hearing June 23rd, June 25th. So that the week of June 23rd, which is next week.
Next week.
Make sure you're sort of keeping your eyes peeled for camera crews
Okay.
All right.
in around Rhode Island. There's certain country clubs that they're not allowing filming at, certain beach clubs that they're not allowing filming at. But as my coworker Tara Granahan and I have discussed, you would be silly not to, especially if you're an up and coming small business, restaurant, bar,
Yeah.
cafe. I think you would be kind of silly not to sign on for something like this. I get it.
Yeah,
for
I'm-
different
I'm-
reasons.
It's great exposure. I mean, you can't deny that. It's great
Yeah.
exposure.
I'm sure there are places that are mainstays and have been around and probably don't care. They don't need it.
Right.
I mean, everybody could always use it, I guess. You can understand why they might be like, I don't really need all of that.
And also, too, like, you know, we have the luxury of knowing how the housewives can be. You know,
Yeah.
we've seen the tables flip. We've seen fights. We've seen glasses
Do you
thrown.
guys remember, you know what scene I'm going
mean-
to say? I know Bekah will remember, but I think you will too, when they were at Clark Cookhouse in
Yes.
Newport.
And Black Pearl.
Yeah, and
Embarrassing.
they threw the, what was it, like a ravioli or something
Yes.
like across the room. And
That was New York.
And
Yes.
the guy with the martini that became a meme, loved that.
He's
But
like an influencer now.
Yeah, I
He goes to
know.
different influence. He was with our girls at Pro FM at Newport Creamery recently.
Oh, my God. I
it's-
love it.
Look at that.
Hey,
I
Bekah,
love
let
it.
me
Good
ask
for
you this
him.
real quick. How do you think, because Ashley and I have talked about this, and I've had many conversations about this topic with many different people in different areas of the state. How do you think this is going to make Rhode Island look? Because I will say this, you know, you have a sense of Rhode Island. I heard Andy, Italian, just like Jersey. He didn't say exactly like Jersey, but like Jersey.
He keeps on pitting them against each other.
But then you have some people, when you think of Rhode Island, you think that very elevated Newport, Narragansett yacht life. How do you think Rhode Island how do you think this will look for Rhode Island? Like, how do you think this will play out?
I think the initial intent was to try to look for the Newport Narragansett, specifically Newport elite, but they're not going to sign on for something
They're not
like
signing
that.
on. Yeah.
we want the Cranston, Johnston, North Providence of it all to play out. You know, I think with Rhode Island, I don't think we have that much to worry about. I think if you look at a place like Salt Lake City, it actually turned the table, so to speak, on how we look at people from Salt Lake City, because prior to watching Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, I always thought, oh, Mormons, very conservative.
Conservative, yeah.
But then you see that they live these fabulous lifestyles.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard to say, because I think so many places across the country don't even know what Rhode Island is.
Right,
So
true.
they don't really quite even have an expectation as to what to expect. And that's why I keep saying expect the unexpected. I don't think we have that much to worry about.
Good.
I hope not. I'm excited. Listen, I can't.
No,
wait.
I am
I'll be
excited.
setting my
I'm excited.
You know, I'm excited for this. Setting
Well-
the DVR to tape everything I miss.
Yeah, for sure.
I think if anything, it increases tourism, because I think what people forget is we are the ocean state for a reason. We have
so much.
unbelievable landmarks. And I think that if anything, the only thing you have to worry about is your favorite place you might have to get on a wait list for.
Oh, it's so true. The worst.
Say it ain't so. Oh, Becca, we can talk to you.
Yes,
for,
thank
like
you
the entire show.
so much. We love you. Thank you for making time for us. I honestly could talk to you for probably 3 more hours about this. So
Me
we
too.
will.
And I
go
would have
ahead.
to change into a blue dress.
Perfect.
Next time we'll plan it.
We'll rebook you to keep us updated on all of this. And thank you so much. We love you. And stick around because we do have more ahead right after this break. Welcome back to Spotlight New England. And Audrey, do you know what today is?
Is today Want to Get Away?
It is. How did you know that?
I don't know, Ash. I don't know.
Okay, so occasionally we will look up to see like is there a day today? Whatever. Today's also National Splurge Day, which is
Oh no, Ashley.
But
we can get on. We can
but
get
like
on that.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
We
But
splurge every day.
However, we shouldn't.
Right, we
But
can't.
Want to Get Away Day I thought was fun because this is kind of like to help people prepare for like their summer plans and like book a trip, think about like where you want to go this summer. So I love talking about like travel and where people want to go or
Where to
like
go.
what you're doing this summer. Like, do you have any plans to do anything this summer?
We're going to do a lot of day trips.
Yeah.
Only because obviously the kids are home right
Yeah.
now. We have a lot of activities. Victoria's in camp. But I would love to do like a Nantucket for the day, Martha's Vineyard for the day.
Agreed.
The Cape is always a place that we go to. Like
Yeah.
it's like kind of like, you want to get away, Matt? Let's go to the Cape.
Yeah.
You can get a very inexpensive hotel. You know, all
Can
you
you?
need really. Oh, you can.
that's
Obviously, it's not going to be on the islands.
Yeah.
But it's going to be somewhere like in Falmouth or
Yep.
Hyannis. They do have cheaper hotels there.
Yeah.
But you know, I think like it's fun to get away for like a day.
Yeah.
What about you? I know you're planning for the wedding.
Well,
clearly.
I actually do have a lot coming up. First of all, we'll go to New Hampshire
Yes.
for a week. We have a condo up there in Lincoln, which is by Loon Mountain and is one of our absolute favorite places. We get there as much as we can, but in the summer it's really busy, so we do have to like make sure that we put aside a week
Oh, yeah.
to go up there, and we bring the kids, so it's like their summer vacation
Do you
trip.
love New Hampshire in the summer?
Love it.
Do you? Yeah.
Absolutely love it. I grew up going there in the winter skiing.
Same with me. Yeah.
But Josh and his family, they skied, but they also went in the summer all the time because he grew up with a condo there.
Yeah.
And it's all about the river.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, you go swimming in the river like you would the ocean. And when I tell you that I have fully come around to this, like
you love it.
Love it. There's just so much nature. It's so relaxing. So definitely looking forward to that.
Very cool.
We have my bachelorette trip.
She doesn't know all the details.
Later.
So
I don't know all the
can't give many
details,
away.
but we have that. And then
We will be getting away for that.
obviously, I'm looking ahead to my honeymoon. So
Which
that's
is
not
awesome.
booked yet, but that's something I'll be dreaming about today
See?
for Want to Get Away.
So we're getting away.
Yeah.
We're getting away.
mentally.
I love it. Mentally and hopefully soon physically.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us on Spotlight New England. And as always, keep tuning in and let your friends know about the show. We'll see you tomorrow.